What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It is game time. It is the week for the Canadian GP. And as we are entering the Canadian GP, Red Bull decide to drop an announcement for Canadians alike. Oh, yo, and big shout out. K Dot going up to Canada and rocking it out. Matter of fact, so much so they was cheering for Kendrick to do the Drake diss song another time and another time and another time and another time. Oh, and big shout out to K Dot beating the shit out of Drake. And so right here, what we essentially got is the most losingest motherfucker in battle rap, the most cryingest ass person in any battle rap saga in history is joining forces with the most cheatingest motherfuckers in Formula One and one of the most cryingest people on track, a Red Bull driver. I don't know. This is a pretty good pairing if you ask me. It's a pretty good pairing. I mean, they got alike goals. They're aligned correctly. They like to blame other people when they lose. They definitely like to be front runners. Listen, I would caution Red Bull to probably not do this partnership because, not saying Drake, listen, let's just get it. It's just true. Drake has hits all day long. It is true. Drake has hits, but we also know that Drake has been known heavily to use reference bars. If you don't know what reference bars are, and this is where they align, Red Bull and Drake align. Reference bars are pretty much another rapper's rap. You listen to it and then you rap it. That's pretty much what Drake has been known to do. Drake has been known to use another rapper's raps to learn that rap and then recite that rap in kind of his own way and change up a few things. We also know Drake's going further than that. He's had a ghostwriter. He's literally had a ghostwriter write his raps, his bars. So this is no secret. But listen, that's no secret to the music industry as a whole. Sometimes you have an artist who is more appealing or maybe has the voice and the writer writes the song and the artist, conducts the song and they get a percentage. Is what it is. Drake also entered into it. So this is where we go with Red Bull, right? Red Bull, cost cap, asymmetric braking, bunch of other things. Kind of, it's not a partnership that's bad as far as harmonious and what their goals align. And also, Red Bull, suspect, 4 championships. Drake, suspect, greatest rapper alive? Hell no. Drake is nobody's greatest rapper alive. Drake's not even close to being a great. First of all, it depends. What do you want to call greatest rapper alive? Just off streams? Listen, and anybody that dares compare Drake to Michael Jackson, you're out of your damn mind. Drake is nowhere near as an innovator, nowhere near as creative, nowhere near as good as a music writer. And Michael Jackson was doing that when streams wasn't even big, like they wasn't even around. What are we talking about? People got to stop trying to. This another thing that's kind of a comparison. Trying to up Max Verstappen like he's the GOAT of Formula One. Trying to up Drake like he's the GOAT of hip hop. It's not even close. He's not that. They're not that. But let's talk about this. And matter of fact, Pusha T killed him first. K Dot came, dug him back up. Well, Drake dug himself back up, tried to go at K Dot, and K Dot murdered him over and over again in the worst way. And then you had a bunch of Drake fans out here crying, like you got a bunch of Max Verstappen fans out here crying when he gets penalized for justly so for the things he does on track. It's a lot of correlation between these two in the fandom. It's kind of crazy. Academics over there sucking Drake balls. You got Max stands doing the same thing for Max Verstappen. Just keep it cool. I did see an interview that Max Verstappen had, and I think it was with Ted. I was kind of feeling the direction Max was going on that. He said, this is cringe. So I will say that, but I will say this. Let's look at what is this partnership going to be about? Like, what is it going to be about? What are they trying to do? We know that Red Bull, on another scale of their sports side of things, are very elaborate, very involved. They do a lot of different things. Last time they had Pusha T do a cypher for them. Cool. This time they're talking about partnership with OVO. So what is this really trying to do? So just a little bit of information out there. And it really seems like most of this is going to be a brands type deal, kind of like a money bag grab, a collab of two different forces and two different atmospheres. We already saw that the Disney thing. The Leon Son in the super chat says this partnership makes sense. They need a whole corporate behind them to succeed. Drake and Max both have daddy issues. Yeah, we do know. K Dot pointed that out too. K Dot pointed that out too, bro. You funny. You are funny. And so this is what that's going to be. And we also know the Disney situation. So it seems like a lot of partnership going on to try to bring in a lot of different fans, different revenue streams. So as we go kind of right here, just space, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. We'll see that, we modeled our Toronto hoodies, graphics, Leafs goalie tees, starter pullover jackets, a lot of things like that. Various NFL teams. Now as a publication, Red Bull Tab OVO site shows motorsports sweater wear. All right. So basically they're saying that you can go over to the Red Bull site. Now, I don't know if this is just going to be something that Red Bull are going to do just as an activation for the Toronto weekend GP, but either way it goes, is it something that's cool? Maybe. Is it something that Red Bull fans will like? Maybe. I'm not sure if a lot of Red Bull fans like Drake or Kendrick Lamar. So I don't know where that'll go for them. But either way it does go, it's something that they're getting into and that they're trying to have. So I'm just wondering where it is. I want to look myself and see if it's actually here, if it's actually something that you can find. And would it be in the lifestyle collections or the graphic collections? Or is it going to be in something that's going to be specific to, I see we got the Red Bull Pepe jeans collection. I don't see the Red Bull OVO collection. I see they got the New Era collection up here. Let me see right here. They got the New Era collection right there. They got the headwear collection. Maybe it's in lifestyle collection. Maybe it's in the lifestyle collection. I see they got the Lego collection. So maybe we go in here and go to the lifestyle collection. Maybe we're going to see some OVO gear or something. Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's not here yet, but maybe it's coming because I don't see it up there yet. And somebody was even saying $500 because somebody had said down here $500 right here. The gear is going to be $500. It's going to be fire, but also $500. I don't know if that's going to be quite true. I don't know if it's going to be $500, and it depends on what are they talking about for $500. Of course, you would need to justify the price, you would think, but we've seen it a lot of sometimes Formula One merchandise. The price does not necessarily justify it. It's kind of the beauty is in the eye of the beholder type thing. So the price being justified is in the eye of who and somebody that may absolutely want that piece of merchandise, that piece of car, that piece of memorabilia. And then from there, they would say, okay, I've seen several cards posted at $700 and seen them sell at $300 or $300, even $50. And it's all about catching your person. So this whole brand deal, I don't really dig it, but you got to have partnerships as you go through, right? You got to have partnerships as you kind of like start building and trying to get in other fans and trying to just do things that just have collaboration. Collaborations matter. We do them here on the channel, collabing with other people and they're in the space, and it matters. You like it. I like it. I guess it would just depend on who's going to like it. But I do not see the OVO collection on the actual Red Bull website at this point in time. I don't even see a tab for it up here at this point in time. Even if I go down here, I don't see anything. I see Max Verstappen. I see apparel. And even if we go into apparel, maybe it's in the sweatshirts or maybe it's in the hoodies. Well, let's just go into sweatshirts. Let's go into sweatshirts and see what we see. So in the sweatshirts, we got lifestyle. We got puzzle sweaters, crest hoodie. I don't see the OVO hoodie yet. So I don't know how true this is or when it's actually going to happen, but supposedly it's supposed to happen. And I, for one, will not be partaking in funding that. I don't fund losers that cry. You can lose, and I still will be like, hey, man, you can't win them all. Still with you. You did a good job. But when you lose after you called somebody else out and that guy told you, don't do that, which is what I've told several people, don't step across that line, and then you push him, talk about his family, step across that line, and you get your ass whooped, and then you cry about it, then you want to go sue about it. Who sues for a rap beef? Who is out here suing for rap battle beefs? I'm just telling you, if I'm Red Bull, I don't want to be associated with somebody who, but then that tells you a lot about Red Bull, right? That tells you a lot about Red Bull. So, I mean, Red Bull, it's not surprising about the partnership, because when you think about the way Drake has conducted himself after legitimately getting mollywopped in a rap battle beef that he started, that he egged on, and he absolutely thought he was going to win, he got trashed, he got bodied, and he got thrown out. He got tossed out of the hip hop club, and then he cried about it, went home, filed a lawsuit, called the cops, and then come to find out you've been doing all types of bot things too. It's just really disgusting. It's really disgusting, and it kind of makes sense with Red Bull because they do a lot of disgusting things, racial things too. So it's cool, but it is understandable. Partnership is understandable, but it is kind of cool. Even if it's not your favorite rapper, you don't like Drake, it's still kind of a cool thing about that. But it just comes off as kind of cringy to me. To me, it comes off cringy. I don't know how you all live, but it's kind of cringy. It's like, yeah, really could have done something else, but might work. And if it works, then it doesn't matter. It does matter what people think, but it doesn't matter to the bottom line. And the bottom line here is, can we generate a collaboration that will financially benefit both parties in some way? And this may do it. And of course, Drake will always be willing for a handout that's going to try to give him the hand up. But as we see, K-Dot is in his country. K-Dot will be going back to Canada to do another song with SZA as they have their tour going on, and that's going to be awesome. And evidently the Canadian crowd absolutely love K-Dot, because the crowd that's there, there's a lot of people there, and they're chanting for the song to be done again. So that's what it is. And I would like to see, I don't know if Kendrick Lamar will get involved with anything Formula One. Kendrick is kind of more touchdown as it is. Sometimes he's like, I ain't messing with it. Sometimes it's like, depends on what it is. But if he does get involved with it, I don't know. I don't think he does something with Red Bull. If he does do something with Red Bull, it'd be very interesting to see how he approaches it, because you got to be very careful. Kendrick is a ciphering mind. And that's something Drake doesn't have. Drake doesn't have a ciphering mind. A ciphering mind can have metaphors, can have triple entendres, can have layers and layers. When they lay a track down, when they lay a verse down, there will be multiple layers of meaning in that verse. Drake is nowhere near that. Drake is so shallow with his ABC 1, 2, 3 raps. Sounds catchy, voice catchy, beats catchy, hook. That's really what Drake is. And it makes a hit, and it works. Not shading what works for Drake and what has sold him millions of streams and made him millions of dollars. But it shows you can have millions of streams, millions of dollars. People say that you're the greatest, and then K-Dot comes out and beats your ass multiple times on several different albums. It shows you're not the greatest. You're not the best lyricist. You're not the most creative. It shows that you're not the best in your field. That's what it showed, that I am. You're not. Yeah, you got all the streams and you got all the money, but when you step in this ring or I see you in person, you're not that guy. And that's a lot of quarterly keyboard warriors too. They not that guy. They not that person when you see him in face to face. So, no, and I will not be surprised if any Red Bull or Drake fans jump into the chat and start, protesting and crying about it. But it is what it is. I will be interested to see when the actual prices and the merchandise, if ever made, will come out. But as you see right here, it says under the post announcement, most people couldn't help but mention Drake versus Kendrick. The feud dominated much of 2024, which is very true. Toronto and currently working on a solo album. Lamar, who's performing the Rogers Center tonight and tomorrow evening, have been feuding over years, but their beef escalated last year. It's all that. So yeah, Kendrick beat the shit out of Drake, and it is what it is. When I heard about this, I was bamboozled. Derwin said I was bamboozled. I was probably equally like, But it makes sense. They're going into, think about it. They're going into Canada. Last time Red Bull was going, when they were doing an activation in the East, they got with Pusha T to do a cipher, which I wish he wouldn't have did it, but he did it, and he beat Drake's ass, and now here Drake is. So it just, I don't know. It's just collabs. It's just reaching out there for different things to bring it in. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I just went to Red Bull's website and I could not find one piece of this merchandise. So how authenticated is it? Or maybe it just hasn't kicked in yet. I don't know. But I've looked at t-shirts, I've looked at long sleeves, I've looked at a lot of other things, and I don't see it. And I've even tried to put in OVO Red Bull collection. and see if that works. And I still haven't found anything, but maybe it's not on, maybe it's not, maybe hold up. Maybe it's not on Red Bull site. Let me go to OVO site. Let me go to Oktoberfest, because that's, you know, October versus everybody or whatever the stands for. Very own. Let me go here. Let me see. Bow. There it is, chat. There it is. It's on the OVO website. First time I've ever been here. I've never ever had an inkling of wanting to come here, but here it is. It's not on Red Bull site. It's on OVO's, okay? October's very own. And really OVO stands for other vaginal option. That's what OVO really stands for. It's not October's very own. It stands for other vaginal option. If you really don't know, K-Dot told you all that. You know what I'm saying? A hoes versus everybody, or you know what I'm saying? Hoes very own. But here it is right here. The Red Bull collection right here. We see they have a jacket with OVO Racing Red Bull helmet. They got a couple of shirts. Here it is with the jacket right here. I mean, the jacket does look fly. I ain't gonna front. The jacket does look good. I ain't gonna have that owl right there. We already see Kendrick Lamar cage that owl and beat the shit out of him. They got some pants. They got some shirts here. The back of that jacket is ass. The front of it does look very well. Back could have been something very done better. But yeah, here's the collection that we're looking at right here. Montreal, October's very own with Red Bull. So yeah, there is the collection. There it is. I can't click on anything and necessarily buy anything, but as you see right here, it says it is available online today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is 10 a.m. and let's go into the shop and actually see, it says collaborations. So collaborations right here, you got NFL, you got Disney, you got Oracle Red Bull. So here it is right here. Bow. Let's go. Let's see how much. The jacket is $800. The jacket is $898, chat. This jacket is oh my gosh, hold on. The jacket is $898 damn dollars. Wait a minute. We're talking about serious money grab here. Let me bring the price in so you can see it. $898 for this jacket. Hell no. No way. I am out on that. $898. You're crazy. Let's see how much some of these other items are. So right here, okay, this jacket or this little shirt already sold out at $158. This is $198 a hoodie. The hoodies are not $198. Okay, $198. You only got extra small. I mean, people evidently, you know, Drake fans are going to rush and buy this. $198 for a hoodie with a big ass OVO other vaginal option owl on the back of it. Yeah, pass on that. This shirt right here is, to me, butt stink, but it's a long sleeve shirt. You can get it in 2 different color options. It's $158. It's sold out right here. It's sold out. It's not even available. It's not even available. So, I mean, listen, like I said, money, they're making money on it. So, and then right, you got right here, you got a shirt that's $68, the race edition with Oracle Red Bull right here, $68. Extra small people are buying it. You know, the common sizes are usually medium, large. Usually those are the first 2 sizes to sell out. Let's see what else they got in here. And here's a more traditional kind of looking Red Bull shirt right here. That shirt is also $68. And that definitely, I figured that would sell out. These 2 options would probably sell out the fast. They're more traditional to the Red Bull. So if you had a Red Bull fan that just wanted the collaboration because of Red Bull and not so much Drake, but hey, it's something that Red Bull did. Yeah, but that's absolutely crazy. $898 for this jacket is stupid dumb. That is stupid dumb. That's stupid. Now, like I said, the front is fly. The front's fly, but the back of it is whack as hell. Definitely whack. Yeah, I wouldn't be. So yeah, there it is. The collection is actually on the OVO website. And now that we see these prices, we know that is astronomically crazy, yo. Crazy. But like I said, the price is in the eye of the beholder, right? So if somebody literally really wanted this and they were a Drake fan and they're a Red Bull fan, I mean, it justifies them paying $1,000 for a jacket, a varsity jacket. Now, for us, for you, it might not justify that. You might pay $1,000 if they came out, let's say maybe, I don't know, let's say Kendrick Lamar got with Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton came out with an edition and it actually looked good and it was $1,000 and it was limited. Some people may consider buying that. I mean, I probably would consider buying it. Would I buy it? Probably not. There's $1,000 I would pay for some things, but maybe I would. Maybe I would see it like, damn, especially if it was numbered. Like, check it out. If they came out with a varsity Ferrari jacket and it was fly, because this one is okay. If it was fly, it was a Lewis Hamilton, Kendrick Lamar, Ferrari collaboration, and it was numbered. There were only so many. Let's say they were going to make 2,000, right? Maybe they were going to pick one of Lewis Hamilton's race career numbers, which is high and whatever it was. And they were going to do, maybe they pick 5,000, 4,000, whatever the case would be. It would be a number kind of related to Lewis Hamilton's stats. And it was numbered whenever you got it. That's crazy work, because you also have to think about, they have to number it when they do your size. So when you pick your size jacket, then they put the number of that jacket, that number sold, in reference to when it was sold. That kind of would be crazy. That kind of would be crazy if they did something like that. And then maybe I could say I might pay $1,000 for that. I'm not necessarily a Ferrari fan. I like Lewis Hamilton. I support Lewis Hamilton. I definitely rock with K-Dot, and Ferrari in the mix kind of brings some prestigious to that. Maybe $1,000 might be worth it. Maybe you would pay $1,000 for that. But that jacket's got to be fly as hell. It's got to be fly. It's got to be fly for sure. So like I said, the collaboration makes sense on a financial level. It makes sense on a lot of characteristics and integrity levels too, because Drake definitely got his ass beat and he cried about it and tried to sue about it. And Max Verstappen crying now because he's not at the front, and Red Bull does some underhand tactic things. And, you know, Drake has a ghostwriter and reference bars. And listen, we all know Kendrick Lamar is the better rapper. He's the better lyricist. He beat the shit out of him. He undoubtedly won the rap battle, as well as Pusha T when they also had theirs. The only one that's even remotely debatable is the Meek Mill battle, and that's because Meek waited so long and Nicki was involved, and it was all that other stuff. But anyway, there's the collaboration. There's the merch. We found it. $898 for that jacket is outlandishly crazy. I wouldn't pay it, but somebody evidently is, because they have sold out an extra, extra small and extra large, but it's not as much of a fan as the t-shirt that is kind of more traditionally Red Bull style. Those are sold out. So I get it. I do get it. It is what it is. But yeah, you know, assholes of a feather flock together. So there you go. And yeah, that's the collaboration. So yeah, it is what it is. But we'll see what happens later on. It is the Canadian GP weekend. We're going to get back to more race talk coming up. The qualifying event is tomorrow, 1600 time frame, which qualifying has been absolutely awesome. Even in boring Monaco, qualifying was good. It was well to watch. In Spain, it was good, well to watch. I don't think this qualifying session will be anything different. Not sure about what updates and everything Ferrari's bringing, if they're even going to work. And we will be doing a live on Lewis Hamilton, as there is some news there to be talked about. So we might do that tomorrow a little bit earlier, and then qualifying later. So big shout out to everybody tuning in for the live, and big shout out to you if you're in Canada. Be safe. Lance Stroll is in Canada. He took his crew out. Valtteri took his crew out. So we'll see what that's going to look out. Aston Martin are still probably going to make very bad decisions on that side of the garage for that seat of their Aston Martin car, and go into the next season making the same shenanigan decisions that will not lead to them getting a Constructors' Championship. But that car will have to be beyond a rocket ship. It would have to be beyond what the RB 2020, RB 19 and 20 were for Lance Stroll to be even remotely close to doing something excellent. So that's where I said his skills are that low to where a car would need to bring him up that high. So peace and love to you all. I will see you all later on today, maybe even early tomorrow, and definitely later on tomorrow, because that's already up. So make sure you click the notification bell on that live event, and we are out of here. Peace.